Isa nga bang game changer para sa Gilas ang Lakers sophomore guard? Para sa usapan na yan, kasama natin ang basketball analyst and blogger na si Enzo Flojo, aka Hoop Nut.
Hey guys!
Welcome back, Enzo.
Yes.
And
happy to be here.
Oo, ito yung pinakamatunog na balita ngayon. Jordan Clarkson in the Philippines, possibility of playing for Gilas. Pero first things first, ang tanong, is he eligible?
Well, if we're going to believe everything we're hearing from the Sambahang Basketball ng Pilipinas, then it seems he is. No? SBP strongly claims that Jordan Clarkson has had a Philippine passport for a long time now, even as far back as when he was 12 years old. And if we're going to base it on that, then there's a very, very strong possibility that FIBA will consider him a natural-born Filipino. That's the main kicker in their eligibility requirements. That a player has to have the passport for that particular country before reaching 16 years old.
16 years old.
Enzo, itong si Jordan Clarkson, ano ba ang background niya for those who don't know or aren't familiar with Jordan Clarkson? Saan siya pinanganak at ano yung mga ties niya sa ating bansa?
Well, he was born in the States, in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. No? And of course, everyone knows his journey in the NCAA. In the States, he transferred, I think, from Tulsa to Missouri and then eventually became a Laker and, all NBA first team. And then now he's in the Philippines for the second time this year to be an observer for Gilas and to hold some clinics. If he does make it to the Philippine team, then that will be a tremendous boost in terms of talent and depth for Gilas. No? I mean, that's not every day you add an NBA player to your team. And if Clarkson gets in, that will make two NBA players. You have Andrea Blatch and Clarkson. That's going to be an amazing thing for Gilas.
Yun nga yung second na tatanong ko sana. Is he going to be that game changer? You have guys like Jimmy Alapag coming out of retirement, Jason Castro. You also have Bobby Ray Parsky for Avena added to that 24-man pool. Pero of course, iba pa rin yung NBA caliber player like Jordan Clarkson or rookie first team. Pero ngayon naman, what are the other factors going into Jordan Clarkson's head if you're Jordan Clarkson?
Well, if you're Jordan Clarkson, ang dami mong kailangang i-weigh with this kind of decision. Of course, I think it's a given that he wants to honor the Philippines, his roots here, and there's a genuine desire, I think, coming from his end to play for the country. Pero remember, you are Jordan Clarkson coming into your second year in the league. You're still starting your career. It'll be, your sophomore season is going to be big in terms of considerations for your future contract. You have to take your health into consideration. The fact that the training camp for the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken, will start somewhere in the middle of the FIBA Asia tournament is also a big factor to consider if you're Jordan Clarkson.
Enzo, what is your gut feel? How close is Jordan Clarkson to being cleared to play for Gilas Pilipinas?
Well, as long as the papers that FIBA, SBP passes on to FIBA are all in order, I think there's a very strong chance that he can get clearance to be eligible to play as a natural-born Filipino.
Pero as early as FIBA Asia, that's third week or fourth week of
in terms of timing, I'm not so sure about that because again, it might be too soon. FIBA Asia begins September 23. Let's say Clarkson gets clearance next week. That will give him only a couple of weeks to really train and practice with the team. I'm not sure that's ideal in terms of chemistry and all those other factors. So I'm not sure about this year. But for future tournaments, definitely having him around is going to be extremely, extremely big for us.
Okay, naman, going to the flip side, you are the Los Angeles Lakers. You are in the middle of rebuilding. You put your second round pick or your first round number 2 pick on D'Angelo Russell. Everybody thought it was going to be Jalil Okafor. So now, Jordan Clarkson, a legitimate major minutes player, would you give him the go signal to play for the Philippines?
Well, to be quite honest, kung ako yung manager ng Lakers, maybe I'd say no this year. It's too soon. It's hard to fix all the schedule conflicts and all those things. But moving forward, there are many advantages of playing in FIBA kasi. Of course, one is, FIBA is in the off-season of the NBA right now. So having Clarkson play in the off-season is always good to keep him sharp and in condition. Of course, if he plays for the Philippine team and there are many Filipino fans of the Lakers, that will endear them even more. And that's going to do a lot of good things for their image.
I'm sure so many people are so excited about the possibility of Jordan Clarkson playing for Gilas Pilipinas. I've seen some images already of Clarkson.
Yes,
yung mga
wearing
naka-photoshop
the jersey, yeah.
na wearing the Pilipinas
Yes,
jersey.
oo.
What are you most excited about, aside from having 2 NBA players on the roster? Who do you see gelling well with Jordan Clarkson sa Gilas Pilipinas?
Well, let's say this is a big if, ha? Let's say we have all the best players
Yes.
available for Gilas Pilipinas. It'll be interesting to see the dynamics between him and, let's say, Ray Parks in the backcourt, or even Kiefer Ravena in the backcourt. Maybe in a few years' time, Kobe Paras moving up in age and maturity, having them together on the wings. That's going to be very, very exciting for me as a fan of Philippine basketball to wait for, to watch eventually.
Enzo, last question. FIBA Asia coming in September. What are the chances of the Philippine team, given the amount of time it was given to prepare and given the type of opponent it's going to face?
Well, it's been discussed many times on social media and online and everything. Na Gilas hasn't had the most ideal setup this year. Given that, and given the fact that Andre Blatch, I don't think he's 100%, I don't think I'm going to pick Gilas as maybe a top 2 or top 3 team. I think we're good enough to upset teams like Iran and China, but I won't count us as the odds-on favorites. But that's the same thing we said about Gilas in the World Cup last year.
Yeah.
And we surprised a lot of people. And we always have that capability to pull the rug from under stronger opponents. So that's what I'm banking on this year.
Puso, ganun pa rin.
Puso.
Mas tayo
Puso
ng
pa rin.
puhunan ng Gilas Pilipinas. Kasama ko pala mga UAAP boys ngayong gabi.
September 5 na po.
Lapit
Ang
na,
start
lapit
ng
na,
UAP
lapit na.
Season 78. Makakasama natin si Enzo Flojo. And of course,
be fun.
naririnig nyo every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah.
Kasama si Anton Rojas.
Enzo, thanks so much. Abangan
Thanks, guys.
namin sa UAP.
Always a pleasure, Enzo.